Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So happy Friday today. Let's talk about what Cathie Wood said about Bitcoin, specifically in regards to feedback from the SEC. There's something different. So let's talk about this and let's talk about what else is going on in the world of Bitcoin today. Let's do it. Welcome. The market bell just rung. Today, kind of a mixed day. We're off to a mixed day, plus for Dow and S&P, minus for NASDAQ. So this week overall, I think has been pretty good for the U.S. market. After we got a little bit of direction from the Fed, and then it showed inflation. We had inflation data showing we're going down, So overall, I think we're getting clear direction in terms of, all the what do you call it? The quantitative tightening may be stopping, right? I think that's why the market is rally, right? So Wall Street is spending a little more now. But not everyone is convinced. You had Cleveland's Federal Reserve President Loretta Mester say that she needs much more evidence that inflation has been defeated. Okay, she's not convinced. So I don't know what she's saying. Does she think we need another rate hike? I don't know. She just says that she's not convinced that inflation has been defeated. And you know what? That's actually the right call, if you think about it. Because maybe she knows, she's not afraid to say it, because Powell won't admit it, that he's fighting a losing battle. Inflation, this war against inflation will never be over. Because, you know why? Because as a country, we just keep printing more money. I mean, he has no control over that. Basically, the money printer keeps on going and it never really stops. So even though we may have temporary signs of inflation, like CPI or PPI showing that inflation is coming down, but ultimately it'll never stop. Here's a good example. Biden signed stopgap spending bill to avert government shutdown. This is the third one within, a year or something. We keep running out of money for some reason, okay? And we keep having to sign these new bills to up either our debt ceiling or to just create more bonds because we need to borrow more money or we need to print more money. I don't know. It just keeps on going. It never seems to stop. I don't know how we keep running out of money to pay our government officials. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And then someone else pointed out that, since we borrow money by issuing bonds, we have to pay back not only the interest, which is astronomically high right now. It's going to be over $1 trillion a year in just interest payments alone. But we have 8.2 trillion of that debt that we need to pay back within the next year. That's a lot. So how do we pay back debt when we don't have any money to begin with? Makes you think, right? We're going to have to, as a country, issue new debt, okay? We're going to have to borrow more money. But if we can't get enough people to lend us $8.2 trillion just so we can repay back others, well, then, you know what? We have to spin up that money printer once again and print more money. That's how it works, right? So we're paying back people we owe with new people's money that we just borrowed from. You see how that works? That sounds an awful lot like a Ponzi scheme, right? Because that's how a Ponzi scheme is. You can't sustain the system. You have to take in new money to pay back the previous people. That's actually exactly what's happening right now. We don't have $8.2 trillion to pay back anyone. So we have to issue new bonds to be able to collect money to pay back people that we owe. So how is that not a Ponzi? That's exactly what a Ponzi is. But because this is done from a country's level, it's okay. It's okay. And people want you to just turn a blind eye to it. And this is the very type of thing that Fed Powell knows very well, but he can't talk about it. Someone asked him one time during FOMC meeting, one of the reporters asked him about it. He's like, that's above my pay grade. He didn't say that, but he said something along those lines. Anyways, that's why we have Bitcoin. Because the inflation problem will never go away. It'll just keep on. We'll just have it forever, okay? We'll have it forever. It's going to rob everyone of their buying power, right? But that's why we hold Bitcoin. If we hold assets that outperform inflation, then we're doing okay. And there's no asset that outperforms inflation more than, there's no asset that outperforms inflation as much as Bitcoin. That's what I meant to say, right? Now, speaking of Cathie Wood, she did an interview. She does a lot of interviews. She did an interview with Yahoo Finance, and she speaks about spot Bitcoin ETF approval, okay? Obviously, you guys know there's 12 applications. One of them is from ARK, and Cathie Wood shares her insight. She says something's different now. Something's very, very different. So let's take a look. This is a short clip, okay? I haven't played any videos for a while. Let's take a look and let's listen in on what she had to say. Let me prepare this. All right, I think I got it.
Well, something has changed. So we had put in a number of times a filing, and we were just denied. Never got any questions, really never got any response. This time, this summer, we got questions back from the SEC. Now, normally when you get questions from the SEC, you're just saying, oh my goodness. We were thrilled to get questions back because it means they're engaged now. Now, we have met a number of the research people at the SEC on the research side, and they are extremely sophisticated. They know what they're talking about, and the level of sophistication of their questions suggested, okay, now they're moving deeply into this. And we answered those questions. We have not heard back. That's a good sign too. They never tell you that you've satisfied them, but if you don't hear from them, that usually means that you have satisfied the answers to the requests. So that was new, and we also know that BlackRock got questions. Mm-hmm. We put our answers in first. I think they have followed, and I'm not sure about anyone else. Mm-hmm. That was different, and it says, okay, there's movement, and we are the first in line, just because we kept refiling. Others gave up, and so, but we just kept refiling. We just kept, and we became first in line. So David against Goliath, right? And that's January 10th is the final deadline. Mm-hmm. They've been able to push it. It's very orchestrated. Push it, but the final, they either approve or deny on January 10th. And
what do you think?
Well, again, I mentioned something has changed.
Right.
That's good. The odds have gone up. There is only one wrinkle, just occurred to us in the last couple of days. They will approve a number at once. It won't be just one. That would be choosing a winner, given the way ETFs work. But we know Grayscale wants to convert to an ETF. I don't know how practical that is, or if the SEC will let them, or if they need a special dispensation. I just don't know the rules. Grayscale has said it will sue the SEC again if it denies the conversion. If they were to do that before January 10th, I don't know if that would throw everything up in the air again. I just don't know.
Others.
There you go. If Grayscale gets what they want, then that means we will get a spot ETF before January 10th, right? So we still have this 2-month period where, yeah, we're waiting, okay? And I've heard from others that have said the same thing. when you talk to the SEC, you never get an official yes. You get questions. And when you get questions, that means they want you to do more. But when the questions stop, that means you get a yes. That's why we're seeing a lot of these applications be revised. BlackRock revised theirs. ARK revised theirs. Wisdom Tree just revised theirs, right? So they are getting requests to revise, which is good in this case because previous years, there would just be nothing, okay? And then you just you just hear that it got denied, right? But now they're asking questions. That means they are actually moving forward, right? And like what a lot of people think, we will get multiple simultaneous approvals, right? And I think that's, she just said it, January 10th. So sometime before January 10th, that will be the very deadline for at least her. She may be wrong about, okay, everything has to be approved before January 10th because ARK's is like 2 months ahead of everyone else. BlackRock's and everyone else, their deadline is in March. So it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like January 10th and that's exactly, the final deadline. But we could get something special. Grayscale may get there first. If they get theirs first, then pretty much that approves everyone else. That could come anytime between now and January. But we could also get a whole bunch, all 12 simultaneous yeses right before January 10th, which is the first week of January. So that's less than 2 months away, right? So something's different, and that's good. That's good because once any of these spot Bitcoin ETFs gets approved in the United States, we're talking about opening up the floodgates. Billions upon billions upon billions upon billions will be flowing in. That's what people want. People want to escape inflation. They want to escape government control, right? They want Bitcoin, and this is another way to get exposure to it. So, pretty good. Pretty interesting. Now, something else that's different. Okay, there's a lot of things that's different now. Something else that's different. You have someone from the Parliament of Germany that is ready to make Bitcoin legal tender. That's awesome. This is from Germany. We're not talking about a smaller nation, right? We're talking about Germany that's thinking about making Bitcoin legal tender. At least one person, okay, from a parliament. But we're starting to hear this more and more. More and more people, leaders of the world, are starting to recognize Bitcoin as a true asset, and they're starting to realize that people really like it. Okay, they can no longer throw FUD at it. You notice that there's very little people out there now that are coming out and still saying that Bitcoin is a Ponzi, when in fact, the Federal Reserve and how the whole financial system is actually a Ponzi, and I just explained why. But no one is saying that about Bitcoin anymore. No one's saying it's a tulip bubble anymore. No one's saying it's rat poison squirt anymore. There's actually a lot more people that are endorsing it and supporting it and now trying to make it legal tender. So think about that. It's just amazing. The time we're living in now is definitely different than even the few years ago, the last cycle. You just didn't really hear about these things. Something's different about this cycle in a very good way. In a very good way, right? Here's also something different. I've never ever seen this before, but according to Mustache, this BBWP signaling bars, okay, this has not signaled bullishness like this for 10 years. The last time this signal was back in 2013. It was signaling bad things like tops, okay? But since 2013, this has not signaled again since about a month ago. And it's signaling buy. For 10 years, we haven't seen it signal that. So I'd say that's pretty bullish. whatever this signal is looking at, but it's pretty bullish. And also, you know what, the way Bitcoin is moving right now, even though there's a lot of volatility, yes, the last few days, up and downs, a lot of volatility, but you know what, when you zoom out, you realize Bitcoin just does what it does. There'll be a lot of up and downs, there always is, okay? But Bitcoin continues to form higher lows and higher highs and keeps on going because more and more people realize it's the best asset to hold, and more people continue to hold it, and the fundamentals of Bitcoin keeps on getting better. In fact, the smaller wallets right now are leading the way. Wallets with less than 1 Bitcoin, right? So general retail investors, 1.5 million more Bitcoins, okay, bought within the last month. So retail investors are coming in, leading the way. Now the bigger whales, a little bit less, but retail is leading the way because it's a flight to quality, flight to safety. That's exactly what's happening. And plus retail are not stupid. They could see the price go up. We're 89% in to the next halving event, and if you simply showed someone a chart, what happens after a halving event, they will become very, very bullish. We're right there. We're so close. This is the time to be loading up and stocking up sats, right? It's that simple. It's that simple. All right. Now, what else is going on? Really not a whole lot. The only other thing I want to talk about today is a little bit red versus yesterday. But there is one that's green. Not for the last hour, though, but for the last 24 hours, I was going to share something about Doge because Doge actually has been waking up finally. And I think it's due to this, and it's really silly. It's really silly. But there is a company called Astrobotics that is planning on sending some physical Dogecoin to the moon. I thought Elon was supposed to do this, but they're going to do it first. They're going to put it on some rocket, okay, in December, and they're going to send some Doge to the moon. I don't know how, but they said the Dogecoin will be housed in a DHL moon box, a lunar payload delivery service on the Vulcan Centaur rocket. I don't know if it's on a USB disk, drive or something. I don't know. I don't know if this is the reason why Doge went up, but I just thought it's kind of silly to talk about. But the on-chain transactions have gone up, okay, and the funding rate has gone up. But people are still wondering, what is Elon going to do? He has been really quiet about Doge, about crypto in general. He doesn't do like Doge tweets anymore. He doesn't do any like the jokes he used to do about Doge, which would pump it up. Recently, just nothing about Doge, nothing about crypto overall, nothing about his payment service or payment wallet that's supposed to be coming to X. Like really quiet about all these things, right? So I wonder if we're gonna get something huge, and maybe it incorporates Doge. That would be big. All right, that is pretty much it. Oh, and lastly, show this. So this is looking at the market cap alts, which I know a lot of you guys have been paying attention to. Alts have been doing very well. People do chart it, the dominance of alts versus dominance of Bitcoin, right? And according to this, well, there's a bullish cross that's coming for alts. And if it happens, guess what happens with the entire crypto cap of alts? It goes upwards. You got to take this with a grain of salt because, Bitcoin will do its thing, right? So it's really hard to chart dominance because if we get a spot Bitcoin ETF approval for Bitcoin, it's going to skyrocket. The dominance go climb no matter what these charts say, right? But, during these parabolic rises, during these bull runs, we do tend to see alts have their day. They're kind of mini or micro altcoin seasons. But towards the end, I would say latter half of 2025, that's when we will see true altcoin season. And that's when you really see the alts take off. But right now, we get like these micro altcoin seasons, right? And that's fine. Everything is going to be pulled up by Bitcoin, right? So that's just how it is. All right. That is pretty much it. Today, turning red. Ray Dalio says U.S. reaching an inflection point where the debt problem quickly gets even worse. Yes. So Ray Dalio understands. Fed Chair Powell understands. It's just that he can't do anything about it. Our debt problem in the U.S. is out of control. And the only way to really opt out is to get into something better like Bitcoin. All right. Let's do some Q&A. All right, I was muted. I was reading the comments. It's probably good that my comments were muted. Just looking at from the top here about Cathie Wood and BBWP Signal and Germany. Germany is second largest country in the EU. That's a big win. Yes, Germany wants to make Bitcoin legal tender. At least one person from parliament. Send SBF to the moon. Evan Almighty, hello. What happened to AVAX degen trade yesterday? It didn't get liquidated, but I got stop lost out because I set at 65% and it went out. So unfortunately, I lost a little money there. Today would not be a good day to be leveraging, I don't think. We got a little weakness here. Or is it a good day? I'll eat bologna for a week just so you get DCA. That's not a bad idea. Today, not looking good. Let's get rid of the 1 hour here. It's not looking good. It's just things are taking a breather. That's all. Okay. Like if you look at it day to day like this, it'll drive you nuts because it seems like there's crazy swings, but it's really not crazy swings at all. If you look at Bitcoin here, and you zoom out a little bit and you realize, well, it's still going upwards. It's still trending upwards. It's just that, yeah, there's a little bit, but the more you zoom out, the more you realize, you don't even really notice it. This right here, that's a big drop. This is a big drop. Okay, 25,000 down to 19.6. That is a big drop. That's volatility, okay? This is decent volatility. This is a drop. 21,000 down to 15,000, okay? That's volatility. This from here, 31,000 down to 17,000. That's volatility. What we're seeing right now is a blip. that doesn't even register when you zoom out, right? But the best way to think about it is it just gives you time to DCA even more. I mean, how many of you guys remember living through these times? These were nasty times, but I've been through so many of those. Steve-O says, I picked up BTC when it went to 19K. That was awesome. Congratulations. What gaming project is better than Immutable X, Gala, Ronin? Immutable X is not a gaming project. It's an NFT project that is working on a chain. So they're going to become an L1. That's what they're going to be. But Ronin is Axie. So not really. Gala, not really. Gala is a platform. They're not even games, I guess. So I don't know. Out of the three, I would say I like Immutable X the most, then Gala, then Ronin. Ronin's just a bridge. Just bought some Solana at 20% discount. Solana finally taking a breather. Solana has been so red hot, taking a breather. But the funny thing is, even at this breather level, it's still way higher than a week ago. That's the thing. Solana could be flipping XRP and BNB soon. Those two just have not been moving. Especially XRP. I just don't know why XRP has not moved more. And Avalanche is taking a breather after its crazy run too. Brent says, I will never forget 2022. Definitely a tough year, but it made me emotionally tougher as an investor. If you lived through all of 2022, you could really live through any downtrends that we have in the future. Because 2022 was the most extended downtrend year of any year that we have seen. So even more so than 2018 and more so than 2014. Not percentage-wise, but in terms of days-wise. But honestly, it was still brutal. So if you survive 2022, you can survive anything that's coming up this year, next year, the year after that, and 2026. Papa Bear Studios took 40 hours to move my DCA to Cold Wallet. Yeah, I don't know. Unless it was a very small amount. Small amounts don't get the same kind of priority as larger amounts, maybe. Or do you have like so many coins you are moving? I have no idea. I created a new word, parabolic. 2022 was parabolic. Will I be a millionaire in 2025 with 2 Bitcoins, 20 ETH, 20K of microcaps? I don't know. That sounds like you'll be pretty close. If everything goes up 10x, yes. Yes, I think you'll be right there. Lazaro, I added an extra 1K really early this morning, thinking we're going to go to pump, but no. It's hard to time the market. It is what it is. That's why you're not supposed to time the market. I know all of us tries to do so. You know, sometimes just like you can't help yourself, right? You want to time it. You try to outsmart the market. It usually doesn't work out, right? When buying the bottom, when you're buying it when it's dropping, yeah, usually those are easier. But like, you know, when we have like volatility right now, it's hard to time it. Just think about this. It doesn't matter. We're going to go back up, and then that's go turn into green. Really, that's it. Ooh, I really want to throw like a 20x on Bitcoin right now. On the 5-minute, RSI is extremely oversold. 15-minute, yeah, stochastic and RSI both bottom. 1 hour still heading downwards. 4 hours heading downwards. So long term, we might be here for a while, but short term, the 5 and 15 look great. J-Mart, you're right. We were at these prices 3 days ago. And if you zoom out, like I've been saying, if you zoom out, first of all, you don't even notice it. Second of all, if you zoom out like this, we're still making higher lows. We have not broken out from this trend line. We keep retouching it, but we're forming higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows as we trend upwards. That's a good sign. That's very good. That's exactly what we want. Brooklyn girl, how do you get on the DCA portfolio? What do you mean? You just do it yourself. You got to form your own DCA portfolio. The one I'm doing is a sample one, just to show you guys the power DCA every Wednesday night. But you got to form your own. Start with Bitcoin, and then add in some Ethereum, then add in some others, like big caps like Solana, Polygon, XRP, Avalanche, you know, and just slowly do it over time. What's the best wallet for Avalanche? They have their own. You could keep it on a Trust Wallet. I like Trust Wallet for almost everything, but they have their own wallet, the Avalanche wallet. If you want to stake, you know, you could do it through there. Immutable X is in the gaming business. Well, they are now, but before, no, they were just an NFT play. They're in the NFT business, but now they're trying to transition to the gaming business. So yes, you're right. But nothing really will happen in a major way until they get their chain out. They're working on Immutable ZK chain that they have a partnership with Polygon. Once that chain comes out, that's when it changes, because that's when they could actually draw these new games onto their new chain. For now, any of the games that they are supporting, it's just mostly token based, but they're not really on top of the chain. So I think things change when that chain comes out. Why is ETH and XRP so stagnant? I have no idea. ETH, maybe because all the ETHgate stuff that's coming out, which I've not been paying attention to, maybe that's holding it back. But as for XRP, there's really no reason why XRP shouldn't be moving up more than it has. I mean, this lawsuit's going to end soon, and they've been getting win after win after win, so I have no idea why XRP is not moving more than it should, or than it has. Yeah, I don't know. Jordan, not that I know of. Maybe early on, but I've been using it for years. It's been good. We got 5,000 people in here. I don't know if you guys are just afraid or you want to see what Cathie Wood said. But basically, she's saying a spot Bitcoin ETF approval is going to come. She believes before January, but who knows about Grayscale. If there's convert beforehand, then we'll go get one before, right? But something's changed. The SEC is actually asking questions. There's actually feedback. So it's not like any of the times before. What's your opinion on Anchor? Ooh, I have not looked at Anchor for a long time. They're like a staking provider. They do liquid staking. They do like micro staking where you can pool different people's crypto together to stake. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not. They have pumped a lot before and during. I remember in 2021 they were pumping. So, I don't know. Just not something for me. Do I hold any karate combat tokens? No, not right now. When the fight starts, I will, so I can play some bets in the karate app. But right now, no. See, like right now, I told you guys, the 5 minute and the 15 minute looks great for Bitcoin right now. I don't know if I should keep doing leverage. It's fun. It's fun. But I've been taking a couple losses recently. Let's see. Solana is also looking pretty good from 5 minute perspective, and then 15 minutes. I think 15 minutes everything is bottoming out, so we'll see some kind of rally. But 1 hour is not looking that good. Avalanche, same thing. What from the 1 hour scale, things could still go down more. Same with XRP. Oh man, you guys will get me in trouble. All right, let's do another 1,020x on Bitcoin. This should not be nearly as volatile as Avalanche or anything, so it should not be that bad. I don't even know how much it's going to move within the next, 10 minutes. We'll see. I need this to go up to like plus 600 to make up my loss from last night. I don't think that's going to happen this stream. Can someone explain the term degen? It's just short for degenerate. So we made it, into a verb. We turn a noun and turn it into a verb, basically. Hedera is going to be listed on Binance Exchange on the 27th. It will skyrocket. I don't know about that. Was that already listed? Was that announced? Hedera, man, Hedera has not moved at all this week. Thorchain has. Thorchain still shocking. Kind of like Solana and Avalanche, Thorchain has been doing just as well, if not better, and it's just really shocking. I don't know if it's really shocking, but it's one that I've really never paid attention to. Hedera is okay. Let's see. If it gets listed on Binance, there will definitely be a pump. Immutable is also doing very well. Injective doing very well. FTT is doing very well, even though it should not be doing well. Celestia is doing well. Man, it just pumped right back up to $6. Cathie Wood does like Sol. She mentioned it recently. What's up with Link? Nothing's up. Yeah, they took a breather this week. Jay, thank you for the $1. They took a breather this week, down 12%, but they're still up 80% for the last 30 days. Chainlink does this too. And I know I say this about a few projects, but from experience, Chainlink and Cardano, you know, those two could be the boringest projects for so long because they just don't move. Everything else, all their peers will start moving, but they don't. So that's why actually when Chainlink was pumping, I'm like, that's a surprise because in the past they really don't do that. Not that often. And then they did. So now it might be in that boring phase again. My house is built like a Ponzi. Watch this. Boom. Get back to here. That's what I need. By the way, while we're waiting for this, make sure you guys check out the IFC kickoff party. I know a lot of you guys are thinking about it. It's going to be a great time. This venue that I picked out, it's going to be awesome. All them influencers are going to be there. There's going to be a lot of alpha there. Crowded Combat's going to be there. It's going to be good in Vegas next month. And you can get to watch the fight, too. KC43 is there if you guys wanted to check out Crowded Combat. All right, Bitcoin, come on. Let's see some action here. Let's see, the U.S. market is still red. Let's see, something like Grayscale, which has been absolutely on fire, down slightly, just slightly. Coinbase, still down slightly. Coinbase is about to break 100. 52-week high is 114. So they're about to break that. What happened to the other ETFs scheduled for today? We haven't heard about it. No, they got pushed back. Like Hashdex and someone else, they got pushed back. So I think we have to just wait until January. That's the bottom line. I want Polygon to hit $7 this cycle. Polygon, $7. Where were they at? They're at $2.50. $7 may be a stretch. It could happen. I'd say more realistic, like $6, something like that. $5, maybe $5 is realistic. $7, I don't know. Again, it could happen. It could happen. When we have a flood of money coming in, you know, who knows? Altcoin season 2025 could be so terrific that we can't even picture it right now. If you keep crypto on a wallet, then transfer to exchange to sell, what will be the short-term capital gains even by held one in your wallet? What? It depends on when you put into the wallet and when you bought it. You have to declare, it doesn't matter, like, they don't care where you transfer from. But they care about when you bought it and then when you sell it. So you bought it on a SEX, you transfer to your wallet, and then you transfer it back to SEX, and then you sell it. They just want to know the dates. That's it. They don't care about if it was in your wallet or not. They actually don't even care about the dates. They just care about if you gain anything or not. I take that back, yes. They just want to know how much you bought it for and how much you sold it at, and if you made any money. If you made any money, you got to pay taxes on it. That's it. Man, this is quite boring. Minus $20. And that's on the 20x leverage. We need Bitcoin to move a little more. Come on, Bitcoin. It's gonna be a while before the dollar collapses. That's true. I mean, the dollar, as much as everyone loves to see the dollar collapse, first of all, if it happens soon, and then yeah, there will be Armageddon. So we don't want it to be like that soon. It will erode over time for sure until something better replaces it. But you know, it's not going to be like overnight. If it does happen overnight, we will have much bigger problems. So that's the thing. Over time, it will start slowly eroding and losing its power, and something else will be better. Maybe it gets replaced. Maybe eventually Bitcoin becomes a reserve currency of the world. But it's not going to like just collapse into nothing overnight. Alpha, watching me for Norway. Welcome, man. Welcome. Yes. Plus $5. Back in the green, guys. Back in the green. Plus $8. That's nice. I'll take it. I'll take it. Should good alts be looking at a 3x of last cycle? I see price targets under last cycle's high due to inflation. You know, there's no exact science. Oh, that's looking good. $20 now. There's not exact science. But, you know, I would say, yeah, 2 to 3x would be a conservative guess. Some of these tokens do release more of a supply out there, right? They had token unlocks and so forth. Someone reminded me of that yesterday. That's a good point. So it may not be as apples to apples like that. But, you know, with more money coming into the space, with more FOMO this time around, with easier access now, there's so many more places you could buy Bitcoin from. It could happen. I hold DOT and ADA. Try to get back to ETH. First time since 2018, and fees are still crazy. Any hope that is solved soon? No. ETH scaling is not going to be solved anytime soon. So fees were low. Fees just started climbing again because the market started getting hot and there's more NFT volume now and gaming volume. But ETH fees were quite low before. like watching paint dry. All right, I think that's pretty much it. May have to stop my leverage, or maybe I just keep this one. This one I'll keep because it's so slow moving. I'll just keep this open. We could check it tomorrow. All right, guys. Basically, bottom line to conclude, you know, something's different this time around. It certainly is. Okay, inflation is never gonna go away. We need something better, and we do have something better, like Bitcoin. And there's exciting things happening with spot ETFs, with the halving event, with everything else, even Germany turning pro-Bitcoin. There's so many things happening, guys. So stay strong. Don't fall for a volatility. Don't become discouraged. If you look at that line, you'll notice Bitcoin is still trending upwards. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow, not 8:30, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, and this time I'm just going to leave my Bitcoin here. So this is so slow. So we'll check it tomorrow, see where it is. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.